Well, here we are, folks. It's the next night. I was out with the Rover yesterday, and I'm out with the X19 because it's been a month since I've driven it, because the car show's coming up this weekend at Wheel Martin. So I thought I'd better give it a drive, because the reason I haven't driven it is because I've been working on the Rover, and I got my sister-in-law Cassandra sat there. Another lovely evening, but it hesitated a bit on the way here. And like I say, I haven't driven it for about a month, and I'm going to replace the fuel filter because it looks a bit dark to me, and I've got another one, but the wire's not hanging off it and the coil's not hot. So I think it was when I was going up the hill out of St Austell doing 4,000 revs, which is high for me, and it hesitated, and then it hesitated a bit. So I think there's muck in there. But for anybody who's looking to sort out the carburetor, you have to take all that tin work off, which, as you see, I haven't got, but there's two bolts at the front, just there, and you can get to them reasonably okay. And then you can get to the one at the back but I got a set of crescent spanners, metric crescent spanners, and they make getting to those so much easier. And the one right round there is I don't know whether you can see it on the video, but there is another knot there. That's quite difficult to get to unless you've got a crescent spanner. And then I was sending an email to Alan in Ohio, and underneath the inlet pipe, which is this silver one here, there's a big brass nut you can undo that's got a filter in that. So that's first, your fuel filter, wherever that is, and then that filter under there is worth, and the little smaller black hose is the return. And then it's, like I say, it's really best to take it off. As you see, I've got no water choke. It's manual, but I never use it in Cornwall. And but it's much easier working on the somewhere nice and sorting it out. But I think that was muck in the system. That fuel filter does look dark, sort of. So it, like I say, I've got another one. So I'll put that in. But anyway, here we are, and on the X19 Club, on the forum, somebody talked about putting driving lights on the front of it, just wired to the ignition so that they come on, and I think that's a good idea, because it's a small car, and a little bit of extra, so I'll put them between the side lights and the number plate, fit them under the bumper there, and they can wire straight to the ignition circuit. But no, the car's going all right, except for those few hesitations. But it has been a month since I've driven it, and for those who haven't seen it, there's my stick-on digital clock and the billiard ball and the rest of it. It's coming time for another cam belt change. Not that it's done that many miles, but see, there's the earth wire there coming from underneath, but that looks okay, although it's bent backwards. That's something I'll give a bit of attention to. When I was working on the thermostat housing, I might have damaged that. I'm not going to touch it now in case it falls off. But anyway, there we are. A lovely evening in Foy. We got the whole place to ourselves, and we're going to drive back in a minute because it's the sun's come off here, and even over Polruan, look, it's going over. So we're going to drive back, and I might treat myself to a glass or two of red wine. But there's the X19 with a wooden stick holding it up, and hello to Reg up in Lesmurdy, and Chris, of course, down at Rockingham, and Linda over wherever she is, and Alan over in Perrysburg or whatever it is, and then there's AA Prod in Perth or somewhere, and whoever it is that said still laughing over that, wasn't much of a test drive with the Rover, but it wasn't anyway. So there we go, the X19, lovely car, perfect sports car. Every time I read about handling of cars, all sorts of sports cars, they say it's got really good handling, whatever it is. Porsche's got horrible handling, but all the cars, the Lotus Europa, almost as good as an X19, and they're not joking. That's why I've never had to replace the pads for the brakes. Anyway, all the best to you, and from Cassandra over there, and from lovely, there's Cassandra. Anybody who knows her in Perth, and she owes money to, she's not here. All the best to you all. Bye-bye.